I also have with me Madan Mohit Bhardwaj. He's the founder of She Wings. And of course, we have with us Ritu Rani. She's the former captain of the Indian hockey team. Let me begin this conversation with Madan. Perhaps you've had a similar story because you are the founder of She Wings. Can you first tell our viewers what She Wings is all about?
So She Wings started its journey from a non-profit organization. It was 2012, 2011 when we started working on menstrual hygiene. And that was a subject when people were not aware about it. So we were going to school, we were celebrating birthdays, parties, anniversaries. In fact, couple ka jo ceremony hota tha, wo bhi hum log karte the. Then we used to distribute those days sanitary product and bit knowledge about the menstrual hygiene. And that was the time when a boy to read about PCOD, ovarian cyst, all these things were quite difficult, right? And we had worked upon in more than 7 states in 2012-13. Later on, we were acknowledged when there's a film, one film came, and we were given credit in the film by the actor turned producer. And then, the She Wings became quite global, and we had 4 major global campaigns so far. If I would name the campaigns, I'm sure 80% audience would recognize. The first campaign, we had it, Yes, I Bleed. And the second campaign was Red Dot campaign, where women were using red dot on their palms. So, it was for a sanitary waste management. And Yes, I Bleed was a time when people were shying about telling about menstrual hygiene. Right. And menstrual hygiene is a subject which is known to boys and girls, men and, women both. Third was before the COVID, when we were distributing a lot of sanitary products. One woman in rural Garhwal area, she denied taking the sanitary product, and she was not open to us. So she told the local Anganwadi Karyakarta lady in a local dialect that I will not take this. Then we asked why. She said, मेरे घर में 5 daughter हैं और 6 एक मैं हूँ. हमारे यहाँ पर केवल 3 undergarments हैं, जिसको cycle होता है undergarments the same lady wears. So imagine the kind of situation we were in 2014-15, that they were not proper undies, right? And where do you fit these sanitary product? Right. Fourth we had is, then we started this donate the undergarments campaign. And in a lot of areas in Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, women were not having undergarments to wear. How can they protect themselves from a menstrual hygiene? The fourth major campaign we had it around the breastfeeding, because breastfeeding is an issue with the upper class of society. It's not with the rural areas for the working mothers. And I am truly amazed to see the kind of network ITV network has built up. ITV Foundation especially, I've been following it on social media platform. So I congratulate its chairperson also, entire management also, that this is the only platform where things do not run from a studio or a TV channel. These people are working on ground. So, not raising a question, but to help out a needy people in real is a big task.
Madan, whatever you've said, of course, is extremely relevant, and we congratulate you on this endeavor. It's very, very important. How did this idea, which I'm sure seems very radical to the people watching, how did this occur to you? Okay, ye karna hai, that this is the sector that we need to go into. This is the sector that needs to be spoken about, that genuinely needs hands on ground rather than just doing, online campaigns. We need people to go on ground, educate women and men about women's health issues, about menstrual health, and so much more. How did this idea come up?
In 2011, I was an investigative journalist having defamation cases of more than 100 crore. I was in Bihar for a story, and one of my friend was a collector there. So one lady died, and generally if there is a postmortem which happens to, which is supposed to happen at night, the collector has to give a special permission. Then this friend of mine didn't turn up to dinner. I was angry with him. I came back to Delhi. Then, later when I digged out the fact, he told me that this lady died in a village. There are 3 ladies died. And the postmortem report says they died because of some uncircumstantial evidences and because of the improper hygiene. Then, it gave me a question that how can this happen? Then I spoke to the collector, then the SDM of the area, and the village Panchayat Pradhan also. So the fact was, entire village, 80% of the women were using old blouse, which has got hooks, and hooks were made of iron, right? Because of iron, they got septic. Imagine the old iron, and they were using it. So this was a subject I thought we are talking about highways, metro, flyovers, you know. Whereas some part of the country, people had made a perception that you build the infrastructure, you build a highway, you build up a metro, you build up a flyovers. It is not, progress. Progress is when there is a basic need. So menstrual hygiene is a basic need. Then we started working upon it. From basic hygiene, menstrual hygiene, to now we have moved to, I would say prenatal and postnatal pregnancy, child care, the knowledge. We have been told in families, in fact, when as a couple we plan a baby. So when there's a baby, it is generally to be considered that
Right.
planning a baby, delivering a baby, then taking care of a baby is a female-centric affair. Whereas prenatal and a postpartum depression is so common and which is undiagnosed.
Yes.
So people need to take care that, okay, you had a baby, now it is your responsibility, right? You need to understand that proper care of a mother and a baby, it's both, couple's task. It's not a mother's task only. Relatively, in India, women healthcare is the most, I would say, ignored sector. And when it's come to international ranking, we have slipped down from 112 to 140. Despite of lot of work is being done by a lot of people in the country. In fact, our
Right.
government is doing so much of good work. I would say, when it comes to women health, in my house, in most of the families, in North India especially, we say, माएं कभी बीमार नहीं पड़ती.
Yeah.
So there is a saying, माएं कभी बीमार नहीं पड़ती. Imagine a single day when your mother is feeling unwell, she could have ever said, आज मैं खाना पैक नहीं कर पाऊंगी.
Our
I
house-
could not take care of my baby.
Our house falls apart. I
Right?
promise you.
So imagine a day, the mother, she can, she don't have that, उसका हक ही नहीं है बीमार होने का.
जी.
Similarly, she take care of the entire family, but there are very few members who understand there is a need,
Yes.
right? There's a need when she need to have a better diet, right? Even if you are a new couple, I'm sure there are a lot of new couples sitting in the audience. Give a time, give a day time to your better half
Absolutely.
to have
Yes.
her own time, and just do a babysitting for some period,
Yes.
and she might feel pampered, she might feel good, because there is a lot of mental stress attached to female's body also.
Yes. And hopefully the viewers who are watching, will have access to the resources that you've put out.